Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews. I'm your host, Boise, and this is the SmackDown Live Go Home show before SummerSlam. Do we have any surprises? Do we have any more build up to the big matches going on SummerSlam? Let's find out. And before we get started, don't forget guys to like, subscribe, and press the notification bell so you can keep up to date with all our videos. Here we go. This is SmackDown Live Review. So we started off the show with a face-to-face with Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch and Carmella. And this, for me, I think this was probably one of Carmella's better segments in a long time. All three women cut some fantastic promos towards each other. Becky Lynch having the strong one of saying, look, I was dreaming for days about beating you. Then Charlotte got added to the match, and Charlotte is just an X factor. She wins matches. That's how Charlotte is. And now I have to have a new dream where I beat you, but I whoop Charlotte. And Charlotte respected Becky for being honest with her. Carmella had some really good lines as well, but I've got to say the best promo from it all came from Charlotte Flair directly, where she stated, look, Carmella, you are a diva competing in the women's era. And I thought that was really strong. Carmella had some good lines after that, and she didn't get phased by that line, which was fantastic. It was good to see. Then Paige came out and she announced that, Carmella, you're good at talking, so you go on commentating. Charlotte, Becky, you're good at commentating. Well, you're good at talking and wrestling, so you're going to have a tag team match against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Very strong start to the show. Good promos from all three women. Got me excited a lot more towards the SmackDown Women's title match. So I'm going to give this a solid 5 out of 10. This moves us on to the first match of the night, and it was Carmella on commentating, watching Charlotte, Becky taking on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And now pretty much it's exactly the same type of match we got last week, where Becky and Charlotte teamed, but just add Mandy and Sonya Deville instead of the Iconics. How was it? It was exactly the same, but changed certain roles, where instead of Charlotte being the most dominant, it was actually Becky Lynch who was the bigger dominant forcing throughout this whole match, which was really good to see. It's good to see WWE booking Becky exactly like they would book Charlotte Flair, and that's fantastic to see. And if we can get this type of performance from Becky and Charlotte at SummerSlam, I'm 100% more and more excited for this match. Becky, for the last couple of minutes in the match, outpowered both Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, got Mandy to tap out, and then we got a very similar scene like we did last week, where we had Carmella on top of this commentating table holding up the SmackDown Women's title with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in the ring, egging her on to get into the ring. For me, very similar to what we got last week. Again, it's just changing certain roles. Makes Becky look at the same level as Charlotte, which is very good to see. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. Next match we got was a handicap match for the Bludgeon Brothers, where they took on some local talents, 3 men from a local talent. And I'm not a big fan of this. It was very much a squash match, and I don't understand why WWE have to do these type of matches when it's so close to a SummerSlam series. It doesn't make any sense. Just put them against another tag team or superstars you're not using. I don't understand why they need to bring in local talent when you've got guys who are not on TV as much. Like, for me, you've got guys who aren't, like Gable could have been in a match easily and just made him work with like R-Truth and one other superstar, and there you go. You've got 3 superstars who aren't doing anything right now getting TV time, taking on a tag team championship who you want to build up as being scary brutes. This defeating 3 local talents doesn't make them feel as threatening, and again, just doesn't do anything for the company. So for me, I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10. There was no need. You have talent there who aren't getting on TV. Use them in the ring on these type of segments. It would just make more sense in my eyes. So the next match we got was a 6-man tag team match, where we had the New Day versus SAnitY, and this is the match of the night for me. It was really good, and it helped SAnitY up their stock in the tag team division. Even though SAnitY lost, which is a shame, I am a huge SAnitY fan, their match against New Day was really good. Yes, there were some mistakes, but altogether it was a fantastic match. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston and Big E are on a freaking roll right now, and the crowd are super behind them. I don't know how. So usually you see tag teams who have been around for so long, lose momentum with the crowd, but somehow New Day just seem to always have a huge following, no matter where they go. And even they've converted me, who wasn't a New Day fan, to start liking the New Day. What's going on? But yeah, SAnitY did lose, but they had a hell of a performance as well. Eric Young was very much the key factor throughout the whole match, and for me was MVP. Kofi Kingston for me was New Day's MVP, but man, what a match, what a match. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's definitely worth a watch, even if it's just for that one match. Just check it out, guys. For me, it's got to get a 7 out of 10. It was that good. Next match we did get on the night was Aiden English taking on Andrade, Cien, Almas, and this was trying to get, a little bit more coverage on the Andrade, Cien, Almas and Zelina Vega match against Rusev and Lana at SummerSlam's kickoff show, and also continue the storyline with Aiden English. Now, this for me was a little bit of a disappointment. It's a very quick match. There was a few botches in the match, you can see, and there was a lot. It just took away from the match. I would have liked it if Rusev did come out during the match to support Aiden, to I'm gonna go out there and support him. But no, he watched on the TV. Aiden didn't last too long. He looked like he could have got the win just quickly, but very much after that, Andrade took control, beat Aiden very easily, and then cut a promo towards Rusev and Lana. Lana and Rusev did return this by coming out and cutting a promo towards Zelina Vega and Andrade, Cien, Almas. So again, it's done what it needs to do. It's definitely got my interest a little bit better into this kickoff show match, so I will be looking forward to seeing it. It's just, let's be honest, guys, Aiden English, what are they going to do with him? It just feels like they're not going to do it. So for me, because it didn't help Aiden as much, which he's the character you should be focusing on a little bit more, it's going to get a 3 out of 10. This match of the night we got was Shelton Benjamin taking on Jeff Hardy. And my God, we had Shelton Benjamin on TV. I hadn't seen Shelton in ages. And it was a decent match. Not great. And that wasn't Shelton's fault. I'm going to say, Jeff looked knackered. Jeff Hardy just looked like he was checking his hands and his hands were shaking. I don't know if Jeff Hardy is still injured or is something wrong with Jeff Hardy, but it looked like he has lost very much a step, and it just showed in this match. Shelton was carrying the match for the majority of it, and you can tell. But Jeff did get the victory with Twist of Fate, and then he did a flop on top of Shelton, and they went, it was a splash, but no, it was more like he flopped onto him and got the 3 count. Shinsuke Nakamura came out, tried to take advantage of a injured Jeff Hardy. Jeff managed to evade it, Twist of Fate again on Shinsuke Nakamura, as well as taking out Shelton Benjamin, who tried to help out Shinsuke. Then Swanton Bomb on to Shinsuke Nakamura with Randy Orton watching on. That bit altogether was really good, but the match itself, like I said, it just felt like Jeff is injured, or he's definitely lost a step, and I don't know if it's because of injury or age, but it just feels like there's something wrong with Jeff Hardy right now, and we'll have to wait and see. So for me, because of all this, the Shinsuke bits was great, and that really creepy Randy Orton watching in the corner bit was even better. I've got to give this a 4 out of 10. Our main event of the night was AJ Styles coming out and making a SummerSlam promise towards Samoa Joe. Pretty much very similar to the promo we got from AJ last week towards Samoa Joe, but this had a really good twist towards it. Samoa Joe did come out and he read a letter from a fan, pretty much stating everything Joe said was true, and it converted the fan into a Samoa Joe fan. And who was this fan who wrote to Samoa Joe? None other than Wendy Styles, AJ Styles' wife. And AJ's face when he heard that name just fell. It was like, what? You could tell it destroyed AJ in the ring. Very good selling by AJ on the character development from AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Brilliant promo works. I'm glad they've managed to keep them away from each other and not have them do like tag team matches with teaming up with other people. This has been like, this is going to be a heated match, and I cannot wait to see how it goes down. I think if anyone could mentally and physically beat AJ Styles right now, Samoa Joe is the man. He's a great heel. The way he's mentally torturing AJ with just little things like this he's a great heel. For me, it was a very strong segment from both men because Samoa Joe did get involved this time around and read that letter. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Oh, and after the show went offline on the WWE exclusive, they had a altercation in the back where Samoa Joe was laughing at AJ Styles while AJ was being held back by the Usos and the Good Brothers of Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, which was good to see them. It was nice to see that they were there. But yeah, very strong segment, really enjoyed. As well, during through the night, we had a 3-part kind of documentary on the build-up between Daniel Bryan and The Miz. And it started from Daniel's NXT start, where it was the NXT reality show, not the NXT we know of it, to Talking Smack, to Daniel Bryan's return to in-ring action. And it was split into those parts. And it was really good, because you had both men talk, and it seemed like they were talking from the heart. Like everything they were saying was a lot of truth towards it. Like Daniel not respecting The Miz back in the NXT time, because Daniel was a 10-year veteran before he even got to WWE, while The Miz was only wrestling for 5 years. But you know, it was that really good, like, you know, this has been building up for 8 years, and WWE sold this so well. Both men were not on SmackDown Live, but this documentary did build up their feud for SummerSlam, and again, it did exactly what it needed to do. It's building up their SummerSlam match. Now, people over here who have seen Daniel Bryan versus The Miz said it was a fantastic match. I cannot wait to see it at SummerSlam, because it will be, I think this will steal the show. If I had it my own way, this would be the main event for SummerSlam, would be Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Now, that's not going to happen. It's going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the 1,252th time. But, my God, wouldn't it be great if we had The Miz and Daniel Bryan as the main event of SummerSlam? It would just be fantastic. With the promos, I've got to give it an 8 out of 10. This mini documentary between the two men was fantastic. Check it out. It's on WWE.com. Watch it, guys. It's worth all 3 segments are worth watching. And there you go, guys. That was SmackDown Live for this week. What do I think? It was a SmackDown Live where there was not a lot of action, but there was a lot of build up to SummerSlam, and it did exactly what it needed to do. The Divas comment by Charlotte Flair was fantastic. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe just absolutely saw it with their promo work, and The Miz and Daniel Bryan's promos were brilliant. The matches themselves weren't anything too great, and you can understand what SmackDown Live are trying to do, trying to protect as much as they can do for their SummerSlam matches as possible. The New Day versus SAnitY was, again, like I said, the best match of the night, and it shows you can build up a team without them winning all the time, and that's what they did with SAnitY. They showed them to be very capable wrestlers, but they didn't win. So for me, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10 for this week's episode of SmackDown Live. What did you guys think of this week's episode? Did you like it? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? Do you think that Raw kind of stole it this week? Leave it in the comments below. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do. It's at SmackTalk YouTube. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do. It's at Boise88. And please don't forget, guys, to like, subscribe, and keep pressing that notification bell so you can keep up to date with all our videos. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.